Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, and maybe good morning, wherever you're listening to at the moment. And welcome to my next episode of the business-focused podcast that is Revitalise Meets, where I, myself, Lee Foster, the owner of Revitalise Connecting People, actually gets the opportunity to meet some wonderful business connections, not just locally, but globally. And we take the opportunity to meet our guests and really find out a little bit about their business, their background, their top tips in industries or business, and much, much more. Now, I've got the great pleasure to be welcoming along a connection that I've known now for over 6 years, at least over 6 years. He's been helping many people looking at their real lead generation online, helping them with their reputation, their feedback, their testimonials that they get from many of their business owners. But most importantly, recently, looking at the Pramaze and looking at the marketing opportunities that you have in your business to really drive business through online marketing. Can you please welcome with me today, the one and only, the man, the myth, and the legend, that is Mr. Ian Shapiro of Pramaze. Ian, how are you?
Very well, Lee. Very well. Thank you for having me on. Good to meet you. Good to see you. And yes, of course, been here together 6 years or so. My has time flown. Amazing.
It has, mine. It's absolutely flown by, Ian. It has indeed. But thank you very much for joining me today again. So this is the first one you ever did with me on this was going back over 6 years ago when I did my first ever one, and that was at the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice in Glasgow, and that was with a wee tripod. Videoed it, upload it. I had to go through all different things to put it out online. And look at us now, 6 years or plus down the line.
Oh, crazy. But yes, I do remember that day very well. Yeah, when we sat down for that tripod and you got to kind of hit the buttons. Now we're all at home and it's all a virtual office now.
It's all virtual, makes it easier. Well, the big thing, everybody's watching and listening to us this afternoon, thank you and welcome to everybody on LinkedIn and on the Revitalise Network and YouTube channel as well. Now, if you have any questions for Ian or myself, please feel free to drop it in the chat area or the comments because we get to see it live. If you've got a question that you see that's really piqued the interest for yourselves watching in, but please feel free to add a comment and we'll keep reminding you all the way through this afternoon's chat as well. So, Ian, let's make a start. What's the story so far with your business? Where are you right now with your company and what's it all about?
So Pramaze has been a baby of ours for a good number of years, but it has taken a bit of evolution. So we started off with a previous business, but we saw the kind of writing on the wall and we started building software. So that was where we were a good number of years before the pandemic started. With software in mind, we wanted to help businesses generate reviews. That was the kind of angle that we were going at. So review generation, testimonials, and building more kind of trust with potential customers was where we were. So we put together software which simplified and automated that process, generating reviews, attracting new customers, and building trust. Really, really great. In the last, I would say this year, in the last kind of 6 months or so like that, we have added to that with this whole feature of lead generation, marketing, sales, and CRMs. It's the direction we're going. It's helping businesses with many more of their processes and get rid of a lot of other subscription things like that. So that's the journey has been quite different. I think in our past podcast, I talked even about that first business, which was cocktail making. And as people may know, that's completely different to software. So it's quite a journey we've had. And without going into detail, that's pretty much it. We kind of help businesses with the reputation, but we want to give businesses more to generate and attract new customers with a whole platform.
And how long's that? It's interesting to talk about lead generation now as well, and especially online. I think it's a real hot topic now with lead generation. Are you using that on multiple social media platforms, or are you focusing on one key area? What's the main focus for you on that through that?
Yeah, so just now there's one specific kind of free lead generating automation that we've got just now, where it just works on Meta. So in your post, if you're to put a post out or Instagram, and you put a link in that post, you know it's going to degrade the algorithm and it's not going to reach as many people. So it works on this level because you don't put a link in there, but whatever your message is, the video or the picture or the blog blurb that goes with it, is comment a specific word on that post. Now, what that does is it raises the engagement, so Meta likes that, so it's going to show it to more people. So by encouraging people to comment on your post and having the automation of our platform kick in and generate that comment into a lead, that's been a kind of bit of a game changer. That's kind of the way we're going there. That's just one of many ways that we can help generate leads. So that one specifically is on Facebook and Instagram. But other than that, yes, we've got a whole kind of social planner on for LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube. You can post out to all these platforms from the platform as well.
And it's not just from a company perspective. You can do that, as we've discussed. It's for an individual perspective as well. It's like for personal, like just one person on their own and just to promote them in general, but also for a business at the same time.
Exactly, yeah. So it's not out of reach for the individual or the kind of solopreneur or the kind of one-man business, or the big business has got like 50 staff. It works for everybody. So it's important to be visible. That is the thing. I think your key message is be visible, be seen, connect, and all the good things that you talk about, but this is on the techie side of it, how to be visible, how to stay consistent, etc. It just simplifies those kind of processes.
I know we're talking about this in a little bit further detail, this first sort of intro to our chat this afternoon, but also the key part of what you do is part of this follow-up process. So you actually put a real key follow-up message in place with the program and marketing material that you're doing now. Is that correct?
It is, yeah. I mean, there's no point in having a single touch point. Or as you say, I mean, how many times do you need to kind of see a business before you trust it enough to inquire? Or how many times do you need to see a person to say, I trust that person with X, Y, Z, that I might put my hand in my pocket and trust them. So yeah, you need to, if you make that initial touch point or you get that initial kind of handshake, you want to follow up with a message, you want to follow up with a one-to-one as you would do, a coffee, a chat, this and that. So you can do that virtually and automatically through text messages and emails and WhatsApps and phone calls, video calls. So the follow-up is super important.
Yeah, I think it's all these touch points that we do, and I think people forget about that so much. It's great getting the sale, but it's actually great getting the opportunity or the leads, but it's also the touch points that go afterwards, the thank you, the customer service, the account management, and that's all rolled into what you offer now as part of this new package.
It is, yeah, that's it, exactly. So nothing gets kind of forgotten about, and you can build, it's so flexible that you can build whatever kind of structure you want when a customer comes on board. Whether you sell something as a one-off, say you sell a pair of shoes and it's one-off and like just a little bit of customer service afterwards, or you sell some sort of subscription where you need to keep delivering the value and keep on kind of providing that service to the customer. Either way, it's important that you stay in touch. An email is kind of still, as much as it can go into spam box and things like that, and people have filters and can sometimes ignore it. Keeping that little bit of memory going on there, and just a little bit of interest, especially coming up to Christmas, just to say, hope you're having a great time. Hope you get something planned. Can we help with X, Y, Z? What are you doing in the new year? It's these little messages, and just see that thing in the inbox come from your business or your personal name. Keeps you in the mind and relevant.
Brilliant. It's actually exciting to look at all this, and we could go on for hours to look at every little nook and cranny that's happening on there. I've just dropped your website on the chat area, and that's pramaze.com. And I'll just put there, find out more here. Just drop that onto the YouTube channel. So if you're watching and listening on YouTube to the live stream, the comments in there, click the link, go to pramaze.com and find out more what Ian's been chatting about there as well, and find out more there. The next part for you, especially over the sort of last sort of 11 months, really, this year, I can't believe this year has just flown by, right? But since January, since I've known you, you've been adapting and learning and really cultivating this new business for Pramaze, right? What's been the biggest challenge for you to get over that hurdle over the past sort of 6 to 10 months for you, Ian?
It probably is the scale of opportunities within the platform. It's probably the scale of different things I've needed to learn about. Because previous to that, it was just we help people with the reviews, getting testimonials, automating that process, and get them on your website to build trust. That was a relatively simple, only a few moving parts to it. But with this, I've learned CRM systems, I've learned email marketing, I've learned text message marketing, I've learned affiliate marketing, I've learned how to connect my leads up to this and make these kind of automations happen. when you get into the software, there are just so many possibilities and variabilities. Like, for example, and I won't name names, but she may be watching right now, but I was on a one-to-one with her the other day, and say you've got an event in the future, September next year, and you need to do something 4 months before that event date, and then 3 months before that event date, and then 2 months before that event date. And there's different people that need to do specific things at specific point before that event date. Our system, and we worked it out together, we're going to put that end date in there, and then 3 months before, I'm going to send an email to Jimmy, and I'm going to send a text message to myself. And then 2 months before, I'm going to send an email over there. And I'm going to, so the capabilities and the knowledge of how to help clients get what they want out of the system has been the biggest learning curve, I would say. It's definitely a hurdle, but it's an exciting one because there's always a solution. And it's just finding what one works for everybody, because every business and every person is individual.
Yeah, I think it comes down to learning and the knowledge that you're gaining from it all, but it's also trying it out, putting it in place and just giving it a go, just saying, right, do you know what, I'm going to give this a shot and just work it through that way. I think that's really important. One of the questions I've got for everybody who comes along and joins me on this, Ian, is how you've adapted your business. And we talk about online and in person, but majority of your life now is spent, I guess, online networking.
It's going that way, but nothing can take the place of face-to-face. The trust gets built much quicker with a handshake and a coffee, and just you're sitting face-to-face. But yes, it's certainly something I can adapt to. And my clients could be anywhere in the world, not just the UK, not even just Glasgow. We can help almost anybody. Sorry, what was the question again? I should realise I've kind of tangent myself.
That's fine. It's late in the afternoon. We can give you all right on that one. So, in regards to adapting your business, you're doing a mix between both, of hybrid of doing online and in person. But are you finding you're speaking to more people, especially now you're working in an online arena with the Pramaze and the sort of automation and lead generation, etc. as well? Do you find that you're starting to spend more time in the online part of it, or are you getting the balance between the two?
I say right now I'm getting the balance. So still I'm doing a lot of one-to-ones that are virtual, so through video calls, because it's either helping them understand the platform and what they could get out of it, or onboarding or support in terms of what they're in the platform, but they need it to do X, Y, or Z. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff, which I wouldn't class as networking, but networking as itself is probably still a lot face-to-face. So networking is still a lot face-to-face, but I'm going to try and get much more of my time on the online networking, just because it reaches further geographical areas without too much time spent into it and things as well. But yeah, nothing kind of compares to meeting people face to face. So definitely want to keep both aspects working hard for me.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because the amount of people I spoke to recently as well, Ian, is that and I've said this quite numerous times, is that there's a big sort of movement going back to like in person again, but they're forgetting that the online element for our business growth is still a major part in what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. You've just touched upon that straight away. We've still got connections over the pond. We've got connections in Europe, further afield, that we can actually speak to and talk to. And we can still do business online. I mean, there's such a mega marketplace of, as you said, affiliate marketing, online marketing itself as well, and promoting yourself online. I mean, part of that is really part of what you're doing now.
It is. No, there's definitely. I want to kind of foster a lot of, pardon the pun, foster. Lots of relationships of people and businesses that can refer me out to more people and businesses. That's where I think we'll win, and obviously at that point our clients can win as well, because we offer an affiliate program for people referring people into our business. Then any subscription paid to us can be covered by 3 referrals. If anybody that comes on board with us sends 3 people to us who then set up a subscription, our platform is pretty much free.
Wow.
So we want to kind of foster that kind of relationship so that we can help everybody succeed and not have it break the bank for anybody.
Yeah.
We are in the business of helping people succeed, and if we can do that as simply and as streamlined as possible, that's no matter where they're based, we'd love to help.
It's interesting to talk about the sort of referral basis and the lead introduction that you're doing as well. It's interesting to look at that for people, and I guess they can make it easier. They can go to your website and find out about that through that Pramaze.com, yeah?
You can, yeah, just one of the links in the footer. So it's nice and simple.
Brilliant. Superb. And also, I think one of the key parts of this as well, before we drift into the next question, is that they've got you and the team on site or on hand to answer any questions. It's not just, sign up, crack on. It's actually sign up, subscribe, but you've got access to you and the team.
Exactly. So no, I've kind of taken on a team that are going to be basically for any customer that comes on board. You've got 24/7 live chat support and Zoom support, and you've got me. Obviously, if you know me and you're kind of connected directly with me, I'll make myself as available as I can at any which point is possible. But at any point, if you're logged in and it's 2 a.m, you're just trying to send an email and you're stuck on some wee part, I have a team that stays online 24/7 to answer and help with any questions and queries at that point. And there's a whole onboarding video series and things. So there's lots of support available, no matter where and when you want to kind of work on this project.
As I found out yesterday when I was looking at something for a QR code, and I reached out to Ian and he went, just click this, click that, there you go, ready to rock and roll. And I thought it was as easy as 1, 2, 3, but it just need to shout out and ask the question and you get the answer like that. That happens as well. Please, by all means, if anyone's watching LinkedIn and also on the YouTube channel, please feel free to drop some comments on, ask a question to Ian if you really feel appropriate, something that you've heard that you're curious about. It's piqued a bit of interest for you, so drop it into the comment boxes. We get to see it and we can respond back to that for you as well as quick as we possibly can. But as always, I'll just drop some information in there for Ian as well. From your industry, Ian, what would be your top 3 golden tips that you could offer to people who are watching and listening today? Would it be about business, or would it be from the new industry or the existing industry that you're in right now? What would you like to share with them?
So yeah, I was having to think about this. I think obviously where the way we are heading, and I'm loving the phrase, you won't rise to the level of your dreams, you will fall to the level of your processes. In business. And that one kind of stuck with me, especially with the platform that we've now got. Because as business owners, if you're a solopreneur, if you take time out of your business and if everything's manual, then it kind of stops. Your business can stop. But if you've got processes in place, and by processes I mean automations specifically, then that's a phenomenal one. But you need to understand your processes first. Like, is it you send a welcome email at the point of somebody just touching base? Is it, whatever your processes are, when somebody's gone through a checkout online or somebody's bought in person in your shop or whatever you've done, what is your process for engaging that lead? So so map out your processes and what can be automated do. That's not the word. Whatever can be automated, make it automated. That would be my my golden thing to kind of say, whatever can be automated, embrace technology. And now AI is coming out and all this stuff and people get scared of it, but there is ways to embrace it so that you're going to get the most out of it. But if you're not wanting to go into the AI kind of level of that can be your kind of salesperson, there are automations in place which basically you set out and map out the structure. Like, you can have a whole Facebook conversation back and forth when somebody kind of comments on your Facebook post or messages your Facebook page. You can have pre-made conversation strands that take them down a journey that answer simple questions like, what time is your shop open, to is there a sale going on, or can I speak to a human, or etc. etc. But they can get the answers there and then. Automate what you can automate is definitely it. Another one would be stay in touch with your clients. That is a big one. Like, clients and connections, stay in touch. And that, as I've already touched on, email is a big one for that one, just because it's not invasive like a text message would be or something. It's just, if you drop into their inbox once a week or once a fortnight or even once a month, but your name pops up in their inbox, then you will kind of build the trust and say, oh, Ian's always been about for such and such, or Lee's always been, kept in. And then when the time comes around that they want to touch base with somebody in that field, have your name to kind of, I need to read, or maybe your email up that day. So communication and systematize what you can. That would be 2 fantastic things for a lot of people and a lot of businesses to do.
I think, people forget about the communication that we've got now. It's not all about sort of a text message or an email or anything. It's about a phone call or a prompt or something that comes through automated to you as well. But it also has to be personal at the same time. I think the communication side of it has to be addressed quite a lot, and it's how people can make contact with you. It's that two-way street. I think there's a lot of people out there now who don't even answer a phone call. You make a phone call, it goes to a voice message, and they don't call back.
Yes.
Or they might get a text message through and they don't respond back to it because they've showed an interest in it. There's no point of contact that comes from it as well. So it's handy that you've got this system there to actually help them with that.
Yeah. So I mean, there's another example you touched on there. You see, this is where by having these conversations, it makes me think, how could I solve that problem? And my immediate thing goes to, we could set up an automation to remind me as the business owner, I've not spoken to Lee in 2 months. And that pings up as my task for today. So in my list of tasks that I get on my app, I'm like, right, I need to touch base with Lee because it's been 2 months since I've had any communication with him.
Yeah.
So these are the wee touch points, like you say. Maybe you have a list of 10 important people, maybe they're not clients yet, but important people you want to stay in touch with. And if you don't communicate with them in 2 months, I would get a task automatically added to my task list to say, touch base with these people, pick up the phone and make it personal. Not a text message, not an email, but that kind of thing. So it's by having these conversations I figure out what are the problems I need to solve, and I can give the tools or show the tools, and if it works, it works.
Yeah. Some good points there, Ian. Really good points there for us. Thanks for sharing that with us. And don't forget, everybody, if you want to reach out to Ian, please do so and ask those questions. Really delve in a bit further. If you're curious about putting those pointers in place, there's no harm in picking up the phone and speaking to Ian as well, or reaching out to him through LinkedIn and social media platforms as well. The other part that I've got now really is a little bit about sort of personal development. We talk about business development. We talk about working on the business. But I know you're an advocate in regards to fitness and health and routines and everything. I know this chap's just came back from doing the hard rocks again, twice in 1 year. Wow. How do you take time out for you and the family, Ian? How do you sort of like decompress, reset the buttons for the Shapiro family? What's your personal development routine?
So yeah, the gym is my happy place. Let's call it that. Gym for most people it's not, but the gym is my happy place. So I'm very happy putting on headphones and so it's usually for around about an hour, and it's usually podcasts or it's YouTube or something like that, and it's sometimes just kind of motivational videos and stuff like that. But yeah, you get yourself into a good audiobook, and I mean one that kind of like springs to mind that I've listened to a number of times now is like Never Split the Difference. And it's kind of personal growth one. It's a really good one. It's not for the sales aspect. It's a really good story from John Voss, and that basically is a hostage negotiator. So it's how to speak to people to convince them onto your side. So it's a bit salesy, but it's not a case of that. It's just some great stories of how to speak to people and how the mind works. So you're more aware of these things. But yeah, I would say that hitting the gym, and that's a good detachment from everything work and everything. I'm very computer focused in that sense. So it's good to get up and get a lot of movement about. It just clears the mind, and listen to a good book. And there's umpteen books out there that I've listened to that resonate with me. That one specifically is a good one that I've kind of gone back to a few times. And yeah, I learned from my wife. I learned from my dad. He's obviously in business with me as well. These people, you just kind of listen to, keep your ears open. I'm probably a listener more than a talker, although you may not guess it on this podcast. I can waffle, but I do kind of like I listen much more. But yeah, you take these things on board and you try and put them in practice, but it's just to kind of like resonate what really, really resonates with you. And it's simple things, and I'm sure there'll be maybe a psychologist that's watching this, but from that Never Split the Difference book is like you go for no, not yes. So if you were to pick up the phone, and this is again on the sales kind of side of things, which I don't really do, if you pick up the phone and say, "Is now a good time to talk?" They would say either yes, which puts them on the defensive, or no when you're off the phone. He recommends you say, "Is now a bad time to talk?" So you go for the no. So it's no, it's not a bad time to talk, which means they're in the driving seat because they've said no to you. And that's the kind of psychology of it. So it's very interesting. So all I'm saying that's the kind of thing that kind of helps me focus on my gym work And yeah, like I say, I've done High Rocks twice now, and that's where all that time and effort has gone in just listening to audiobooks while pushing the weights, pulling the weights, and running for endless hours.
There's no harm in doing that, though. And me and you have had many discussions talking about that anyway. And I think, there has to be an element to your daily routine. And it's also about having the focus and the mental capacity, the mindset driver that you need in business. We can get burnt out quite easily, but having that release where you go to the gym or going for a walk in nature each day for 10, 20, 30 minutes, dedicating a bit of time in the morning before you start your day. I mean, I've got a daily calisthenics routine that I do in the morning, which I spend probably about half an hour, 35 minutes, but specific exercises, sit-ups, press-ups, movement, stretches that I do. And as you know, I'm well into that cold therapy now, looking at that sort of, I've got myself a plunge pool that I'll be setting up in the garden. And especially when you get in the winter time, I think that's really important. And it's about just having that clarity, just clearing away the clutter in your head, just to refocus yourself in the morning. And, I think yourself will probably agree with this. If we haven't got that routine in place, even if it's just a walk during the day, you miss it. And you actually notice it when you've missed it for a certain amount of weeks or months. You see there's something different. It's actually that.
Yeah. No, you're very right, and you've reminded me. Yeah, that is a good thing. The morning routine is so important. I hear a lot of that through the Andrew Huberman and other such likes like that. We're obviously in Scotland. We don't get daylight early anymore, but these things, get out in nature and getting the time away. I mean, that's where the important bit is for me. Is as much as I spend a lot of time on the computer, it is fantastic to get out in nature and walk, or even if it is just to get across to the gym and focus on one thing that's not work or staring at a screen. That's the important thing. Even at home, you find yourself kind of double screening sometimes, and it's like, I know this is not good for me. So you step yourself back, go and spend 45 minutes cooking. Put the effort into cooking. And me and my wife, we love cooking. That is a big thing that we do together. I'll usually do the washing up. Say that. We'll cook together, but I'll do the washing up type thing. But that's quite a mindful thing. We're gonna put some music on and we'll do that. But these are definitely important things to kind of reset and take control of your.
Well, my partner keeps telling me to get back in the kitchen again. I enjoy cooking as well, as you know fine well, but she's keen to get me back in to start baking again and start doing that. But it's again trying to do this healthy routine and then getting encouraged to make cakes and biscuits and everything else. Biscottis, as you know, Biscottli's coming back again, making a comeback maybe in November, December time as well. But I think that helps. It just putting some music on and doing that. I think we're talking like mental health wise here, especially for men. We don't talk about it that often. Yeah. I think it's having that sort of release, that decompressed, that feel to work out of it, to switch off. Because if you're in front of the screens all day, you get mental fatigue. I find that I'm really tired at the end of the day if I'm online all day and I'm listening, I'm making phone calls, and you're really hustling online and the virtual network. You come away thinking, I need some time just to step out here.
Yeah. For sure.
I think so. For you, what's that? Sorry, go on.
I think I delayed there for a second. I was just going to give the thumbs up to these biscottis. They were good. I've tried them before.
Yeah, he had lots of them the last time I made them. He took a lot of them, and he's Mr. Fitness as well. So what's next for you, Ian? What's next for the business? What's next? If you could fast forward, sorry, not flash forward, but fast forward 6 months down the line, we're now at probably the first quarter of next year. What does that look like to you? What do you see in the foreseeable future for yourself?
Yeah, so I would still consider us, especially with this kind of new platform, we're in the startup phase, I'd say, in this platform. But this is certainly the future of Pramaze. We are definitely behind this, and we are going to be helping hopefully hundreds of businesses at some point in the future. I don't expect it to be this point at Q1 next year to be helping hundreds, but if we can get to like 50 or 60 businesses that have got a good handle on the platform, then that means we can put much more investment back into helping people do even more. And that will be our focus, and it means that we've got options to help more people. I think is where we want to go. We want to, if we could reach out to more people, because every business should succeed. Is the thing. It's obviously a sad fact when new businesses, a lot of businesses fail in the first year or in the first 3 years. There's platforms and automations and systems that can help drive and make businesses succeed. So if we can help to generate leads, that's what I'd like to get, like helping businesses generate leads, and the system itself will be the one that kind of converts the leads. That's where we'd love to be an expert in by that point. So I'd say I'm learning well, doing good at it, but that's where I think we will really shine, is helping to generate the leads consistently, ensuring kind of proven plans on how to do it, and then utilising the automations to convert those into actual paying customers for our customers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'd love to be next year, and yeah,
love that. So if I was to ask you this question now, you're talking about converting more leads, working with customers, working with clients, building up your pipeline of actual clients that you're working with, making them successful. Who's the perfect customer for you? So if someone's watching and listening right now, who would be the perfect target audience that you're looking to speak to right now, this week, this month? Who would make the biggest difference to you, Ian?
Yeah. So this is it's a difficult question, because I know you pushed me for these, and you pushed me for a single avatar out there, and I'm going to give you a couple, because I know you hate this. So number one, we can help customers that are perfect for this are the trades. There's no doubt about it. The people that have got no time, usually solopreneurs, they can't, like you said earlier on, they can't answer the phone because they're on the tools. These are the people we can help systematize different things, such as inbound phone calls and things like that. We can do all that. So that would be a great one for me. But social media marketers, people that work with businesses to help them with their social media. So we've got a social media planner built into our platform. So I would love to be introduced to that niche, because through them, like I've said, we could help more businesses, reach more businesses, and systematize more software, more processes. So yeah, trades would be great as an introduction, just as a customer. But our social media marketers, I would love an introduction to work alongside and almost create a partnership, especially down the kind of affiliate route, so we can start paying them. And if you see an opportunity that works for you, then I'm happy opening the doors to obviously, because our platform can be put to good use in almost any niche.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I've dropped that on there for you as well. Target audience: trades, solopreneurs, and social media marketers. Excuse my typing, I just went a double E at the end there. So marketers that are in there. So if anyone's watching and listening to this right now, what's the best way to get in touch with you? That they're saying they've got the perfect social media marketer that needs to speak to Ian. How can they introduce them? How can they get in contact with? What's the best way of reaching out?
So best way would be either come to our platform. You can do it through the QR code, or you can do it through the link that Lee's put in the comments. On there's a live chat. If it's out of hours, then potentially we won't be manning that live chat, because we've got the people inside the software manning the live chat. But that will send a message directly to myself, and then I can get in touch with you. If not, LinkedIn is my number one platform for connecting with business people and entrepreneurs. That will be my next stage. Obviously, we've got digital business cards and things which I can drop the link into as well, and make it super simple to connect with me on whatever platform you use. LinkedIn is my kind of preferred one. But yeah, through the website, pramaze.com, or through our digital business cards, which will be easier to send a link. And I don't think I can actually send a link. So yeah, scan the QR code, or go through the website, or find me on LinkedIn, Ian Shapiro. That'd be awesome.
So what Ian will do for me after this sort of interview, Ian's going to share with me the link in WhatsApp, right? And then I'm going to drop that into the LinkedIn comments from this live stream, and then I'm also going to drop it into the YouTube channel as well. So the link will be added into both those channels this evening, so you can have a look at it and click into it and go to the link and go that way. So if you can send that through to me, Ian, I'll drop that into the comments after this interview, if that's okay with you.
Yep. So in fact, I've just done it right now, so I don't know whether you want to do that, but it's on its way via WhatsApp to you, Lee. That'd be
Brilliant. Thank you. I've got that just now, so I'll drop that in once this call and this meeting finishes as well. Ian, thanks so much for that. It just comes from me to say a massive thank you to you, Ian, for joining us today. And it's great to learn about how your business is developed and adapted over the years. And, you know, you've been helping many people in different areas, but you're doing what you started off with that we first met about, reputation software, the Pramaze, but now also going down that line of really opening up the door for many people. I think it's really wonderful where you've really progressed your business on from where we met 6 years or plus ago.
Thank you. Well, I think businesses need to always keep their ears open and not be blinkered. I think I'm certainly one that keeps my eyes open to what the requirements are, and I am not afraid to change my business to help and improve on my situation, but also the offering that I can give people. Yeah. So I think that's been the kind of thing over the last 6 years. I can't believe it's been 6 years, but it's flown by. But thank you so much. No, it's been brilliant to come on here again. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome, Ian. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. And thanks everybody who's been watching and listening today, or you're watching this as a rerun on the YouTube channel for Revitalise Network. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Revitalise Network, and subscribe to the channel. Be kept up to date. We've got over 150 interviews on there with many, many entrepreneurs. Ian is just one of them that's on there, sharing his wealth of knowledge and expertise and background and journey. You will pick up some golden nuggets of information on there. Stay tuned on LinkedIn because there'll be many more Revitalise meets coming up in the schedule up to the festive season and starting again back in 2025. Can't believe I'm saying that already, but I am. So please keep an eye out on LinkedIn and especially on the YouTube channel for Revitalise Networking. We're going to have many people come along and join us, sharing their expertise, their knowledge. And again, you always find something you can implement into your business. From me and from Ian, thank you very much for joining us on the Business Focus podcast that is Revitalise Meets. We wish you all the very best for the week and the evening ahead and the month ahead, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.